What's going on, Aquarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a great week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. Appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your shares. You're keeping this guy coming back and keeping us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, what I'm going to be doing this week is a tarot card reading for the week of November 13th through the 19th. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems are super pumped to see ya. It's going to be a great time. What's also going to be great is that I'm pulling 15 cards. They're going to be in 5 groups of 3. The middle group is going to represent the nature of your problem. The upper left and upper right hand groups are going to be some future options that we're going to play around with. Oh, maybe. The bottom left will be some perspectives that you might want to consider in relationship to the nature of the problem. And finally, the bottom right will be whatever messages your higher self would like you to know. And in case you all were curious, I'm using Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. The art on these cards are really cool, so I'll show you those all throughout. And in case you wanted to get your own, I included a link at the bottom to so that, you know what, if you feel like feeling it, pull with me. You know, we can have, it'll be a whole fun thing, Aquarius. But, higher self, what do we have in store for Aquarius this week? Let me get your cards pulled, and then we will get right to it. Ooh, okay. It's quite the contrast, but I'm with it. Okay, bam, bam, and there we go. All right. Let me get these cards organized here, and then we will get to it. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm with it, Aquarius. Let's do this thing. So, for the nature of your problem, we have the 6 of Wands. And the cards that came along with it, what up, girl? Queen of Discs and the 5 of Cups. So we are looking for a win, Aquarius, and I'm with it. I feel like, you know, even more so than a win, I feel like we're just trying to get some kind of balance in our life. You know, I feel like this isn't just like, oh, this isn't just like we're looking for victory. No, we're looking for something so that we can get, like, feel like we're getting back on track. Because the 6 of Wands is just that. It's about love. It's about that victory, obviously. It's about, but really, really about balanced energy. Because look at this. Look how peaceful this card is. I really like this energy here. And I feel like that's where you're trying to get to, you know. I feel like the energy's been, I feel like we've been kind of up and down with our energies this week. So now we're trying to get back to this place of just like, we just want to be balanced. And I feel like what's keeping us from getting that balance is this 5. I know we're going to talk about her in a second, but I do want to talk about the 5 of Cups first. Because I feel like with the 5 of Cups popping up, the reason that we're not, and this is only going to resonate for some, but I do feel like the reason we're not getting to this win here is because we've been disappointed in the past. Whether that be with how things have worked out, whether that be with ourselves, whether that be with like a situation, you know, but pick a cup and fill it up with whatever disappointment it is. That's what I really feel like is getting in the way of this Cups here, which is like, duh. But really though, it's one of those things, yeah, and you know what? If you said duh to me, I'm saying it right back at you in a safe space kind of way. Just because Now we've seen it. You know, it's one of those things. If you were like, if it's obvious that this has been the problem, then perfect. Then we're on the right track. Because I do feel like we have been let down in the past. But the thing is, with this stuff here, and this is kind of why I've kind of changed up how I even worded this. You know, we're playing around in the future here, because the only way we can do that, the future stuff is painted by whatever we paint in the present. And if we're painting our present with past regrets and things, as opposed to present lessons that we have here, then yeah, that's going to make it really hard to get to this balanced energy here. Because let me tell you about the Queen of Discs. With the Queen of Discs, you know, she's not looking at, she's got this whole field out here. And this could be whatever this looks like for you. You know, we can be undertaking, you know, getting, you know, whether it's getting, working on ourselves as a project, you know, working on a literal project, maybe starting up a business, maybe some kind of house thing, whatever this is looking like for you, she's coming at it with this Six of Wands energy, with this like this. She's going for the win here, and that's not to say that she's ignoring this cup here, because she's. What I like to say about all these cards is that they happen to the best of us, and it's just the universe reminding us that we are all the best, you know. And I feel like with this, you know, if she were to look at this field, it's just like, ugh. I have all this to tackle. I've been let down in the past. I don't even think I want to do this. I think like, oh, I'm doing all right. I can just sit up here and be pretty. Well, yeah, you probably could sit pretty for a while there, Aquarius. But at what point do you want to? Is that really going to be enough? You know, I feel like that's and that may be kind of a weird analogy to come at it with it, but that's really kind of what I'm feeling with this. You know. I feel like it's coming at it less with like that, keeping the wisdom that we've gotten from our past stuff here, because I don't feel like you plan to be disappointed. I really do feel like the disappointment stuff, this stuff has happened, you know, and I feel like it's good. Don't let it color this in like defeat, where we've already dismissed it before we've even started. Okay. I know not to do, if anything, look at it this. I've learned in the past, I did this way, it led to Five of Cups. I did it one way, Five of Cups, this Five of Cups. Take these Five of Cups, what do we learn from this? And then let's start drinking the wisdom from these cups. You know what, I'm talking about all these cups. That's actually a nice analogy, because now let's play around in the future, Aquarius, because we got the Ace of Cups, the Five of Discs, and the Nine of Cups. Now, I know you want to talk about all those cups first, but this is really going to kind of help me. This is going to help me bring it home, because with the Five of Discs, because now we've taken this stuff. Okay, you remember how we were painting this picture here? We're painting this past stuff here. Now, look what happens when we've painted this stuff with disappointment, with regrets, with second guessing and all that. Now we've gotten to this Five of Discs here, where now we're worried. Now we're anxious. Now we're thinking about, like, this is a lot of what if energy. What if I don't succeed? What if X happens? What if, it's a card of poverty. It's very, very anxious type of card here. But I say, again, I feel like this worry is coming from what's stemming in the past here, and not looking at them as the lessons that they were. We're just looking at them as, this is just like, oh, I'll never do that again, which is good, but more so like, it's even less in your words. It's even trickier than that. I feel like it's your tone too that's going to change it, because if you're like, well, I'm not going to do that again, that doesn't give me higher vibrations. That gives me just sort of like you kind of dismissed it, like whatever, like that kind of ticked me off. I'm not even with it. But if you're like, well, now I know. My point is to getting to like, well, now I know not to do this in the past. When I'm going to tackle this thing, I'm going to feel, because you remember we were drinking from these cups of wisdom? Now look what happens. Ace of Cups. And Ace of Cups is an epic win, because this is a card of productivity, of beauty. If we're looking for a little one, it's a card of fertility too. But mainly this is just about finding that fulfillment. And then on top of that, look at that, you got two cups in this row here. So just, I feel like this what if energy, I challenge you. You know how I like to challenge people this week. Well, what if everything goes right? What if all your cups get filled? What if you find that balanced energy? What if you get that victory? Happiness. Happiness is what happens, Aquarius. And then your cups are just overflowing. This is Jupiter and Pisces here. You know, this is, I mean, just abundance bombs all over the place. And I'm so with that. But it's really, I feel like what's going to help you. And listen, I understand it is harder when you're in it, when you're in this situation. You know, and these things can be sneaky too, how they come into our minds. But I really, if you're taking that, being intentional, when these pop up, being like, oh, okay, I'm kind of reveling in the past a little bit. It's bleeding into this future thing, and that's not helping this moment right here. You gotta focus on the now, because that's the thing we have control over. That's where our power's at. It's in this present. Because then look at what other stuff we can play around with. We got 2 of disc here. We have the universe, and we have the 3 of swords. Now, I want to start with this 3 of swords here because because it's, again, we're playing around in this future. And I just want you to understand this power that you have while I'm saying this, you know, because this is stuff we're doing right now. And I get that with these energies here, it can have us feeling kind of low, because the 3 of swords is a card of sorrow, card of melancholy, card of kind of depressed energy, just really kind of dark, somber energy. And I feel like when you get to this place of like, this what ifs, you know, I wish I hadn't, if only, if blah, blah, blah. Because even, it really is. These energies are really kind of can be kind of tricky to work with, you know, when you're, and you know what, and it's even harder too I feel like, because the disc, I don't know if I mentioned, the disc have to deal with, can deal with business affairs, monetary issues. So if our money's thrown in the mix of this, it's affecting our resources. I do really get that, where this is going to really kind of paint. It's hard to not think about future stuff or think about past stuff when your present is so urgent. But that's where 2 of disc is going to come in. And the 2 of disc is about, listen, when you're in that work here, because I feel like a lot of us are in this more so kind of darker space here, you know, where we might be, just because in the efforts and looking for this space, you know, I feel like we've just gotten kind of stuck in here, and it's just been like a real heavy kind of push to get to this fortune here, to catch this luck. But I want us to realize too, and really this emphasis on this balanced energy here as well, because when you do get out of this, because the beautiful thing is you are going to get out of this energy here, you're going to find the strengths from this. And then it's taking that and not celebrate that win, absolutely, because that is a win. But don't get caught up in it, because sometimes when we get too high, after coming from so low, we get too high, then it makes it that low, that drop is going to be so severe again. So it's about kind of getting in this sweet spot here, you know, appreciating the wins when we have them, putting in the work, getting the wisdom when we need to, and then that's going to get you to this universe here. That's going to help you paint this big picture here. So now that we're not looking at this, this field with that apprehension anymore, with that worry, that anxiety, you know, now we're looking at it with some optimism. You know, now we're looking at it with a balanced mindset, being clear of, okay, I know what happened in the past. These are things I need to think about in the future. What can I do in the present to set myself up for success? How can I be proactive instead of reactive? And that's where I feel like once you start taking the wisdoms from here, that is how you're going to get that clarity. That is exactly where that's coming from. You know what? Let's start talking about some perspectives to consider, because this is really nice too. You have down here, you got the Prince of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Now I feel like with the Prince of Cups popping up, Prince of Cups is one of my cards of he's my only card of don't suffer in silence. The Prince of Cups he's a type that will keep this type of energy bottled up. You know, he'll be, and not, and it's not because he doesn't want to deal with it. And the nice thing too, these aren't gender specific readings, so take a, this definitely applies if this is resonating with you. But I do feel like, it's one of those things. I feel like when these issues come up, I feel like the Prince of Cups doesn't want to come across as looking like he can't handle it, or looking like that he's weak or doesn't like to ask for help. And my thing with that is, sure, I remember a friend had told me a while back, we're born into the world by ourselves, and we're gonna leave by ourselves, so we should just learn to do some stuff by ourselves. And it's like, I get that to an extent, but if that were the case, then we would just be there wouldn't be billions of people on the planet. There'd just be like one of us at a time. And all of that to say is, you have people around you. I imagine that you have a pretty good environment, I would think. And if not, you know what? Know that you're in a safe space here. I was, who was I just telling? I think I was just telling Scorpio this, which is funny, the Scorpio's card. But I was just telling them this. It's like, if you can't talk to people, talk at me, talk to your dog. Just don't let it bottle up. Because I feel like once you give it some air, then it's not going to affect you as much, because now we can see it. It's just like when you brought this energy here. It's like you may, as these things are coming up, you might not be like, ooh, Justin, I don't want to talk about this. But it's like, listen, you're in a safe space here. And you know what? It's too late, because you've seen it, I've seen it, now we got to talk about it. But that's not to say that we're judging ourselves too harshly here. We can totally Queen of Cups in all of this. This is one of my cards here. This is one of Cancer's cards. And I love the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is very much so you remember when I was saying this happens to the best of us, Queen of Cups included. But let me tell you the special thing about the Queen of Cups that I really love. She is impressionable by the influences of other cards. And you would think that's not a strength, Justin. Well, watch how she works, because she's like, when something enters into her realm, it's like, okay, I see you. And then she's going to calm it, because look at her background is so serene here. She's on a throne of still water. Everything is peaceful, tranquil. She takes those energies, they come into her space. She's not ignoring them. She sees them, and then it's just like, okay, you're here. What? What? Tell me what's going on, so that I can assuage this feeling and then send you off. Get you back to where you're feeling good. Take the lessons, add it to the ambiance, and then set it off. Because the Queen of Cups knows how to work with the energies. She's a master at when things are, whether she's up or down, this is where she kicks it. I joke and I said, because the priestess recently took up residence in this sweet spot here between the good and the bad stuff here. And you know what? Queen of Cups kicks it right there with her. They might be, they might be splitting the palace. I'm not sure how that relationship's working, but Queen of Cups chills in this energy too. Is what I'm trying to get at. She knows how to deal with that ebb and flow, that balanced type of energy. And then you got Ace of Swords here, because I feel like that's going to give you clarity. When you realize that you do have the power to work with these energies and to make them yours, and to not let them paint this, to paint your future to not let these emotions control your future, to know that you can control how you respond to these emotions to paint your different future. That's the knowledge that you're going to get from that Queen of Cups energy. I do feel like, because the Ace of Swords is that power to meet adversity, that with great power comes great responsibility. That's all this. But I really do feel like you're going to get that clarity you need to tackle this head on. And if you don't believe me, let me tell you what your higher self is saying. Because over here, and look at this, look at this, you got 3 queens showing up here. I am so with it. You got Queen of Wands here. You got the Devil, which I know how that looks, but you know what? Devil and I, we started to become friends. And then you got the Prince of Wands. Now, let's talk about the Devil first. Since I made it that point, Because you're probably like, why would the devil be here? I heard that. I totally felt that. Why would the devil be our friend? Well, let me tell you. Because the devil is more so than emphasis on like his intoxication part of it, you know, the addiction, the strong impulses. The devil is a card of strength. Because what do you need to deal with those situations? Because you need strength. Those situations, it's not even like a day by day type of thing, and it's really like a moment by moment. And that's not to like to make you feel any worse or to add any kind of like pressure or anything. These are just the facts. You're with yourself all the time, and when these things, so there is opportunities for these mindfulness things to pop up as often. If you're not giving them the space, they're just going to keep getting louder until they're all in your face. And that's not what the devil wants. The devil wants you to just to remind you that you have the strength to do this. You have the strength to face these issues, because they want to make you better, devil included. They want you to get to, I'm going to get to you, Queen. You know, I feel like it's going to call upon that. You're going to need that courage to face this stuff. It's got to be a lot to deal with that every day, to have to come into that and like look yourself in the, whether in the mirror or just, you know, if you're meditating with it, but you're going to have to rise up and face that. You know, at some point, this is going to, you saw how the devil just snuck in there. You know, it's like, okay, if you don't want to listen to me all throughout here, well, then I'm going to have your higher self kind of tell you about it. But it's just because he wants you to level up. He wants you to get to that Queen of Wands energy where you're, and I really have, normally she is my cool as a cucumber card, but she's like, and I say that just because she's very adaptable. And she has to be. She's the watery part of fire. Queens representing water, Wands representing fire. So you got two conflicting energies there. So she's got to be able to work with that, because that's chaotic. You know, natural opposites trying to be together in one body. You would think that would be something else. But look at her. She's calm on her throne. Felix. I feel like the name of this cat's going to be Felix. I'm still playing around with that. But cat's calm. She's calm. Everyone's calm. You know, let's move back, Aquarius. Let's go ahead and let's bring this home. Where did you go? Devil. I'll say, look, now he wants to hide. I am, not that this is the nature of your problem, but I feel like this is going to be one of the keys to getting through this, is keeping in mind that strength. You know, these things might feel like that stuff is like happening to you. But just like you showed me, oh, I forgot where you showed me, but we were filling up cups, we were being proactive. You know, that's the name of the game here. You know, I feel like it's taking those, because you've had some pretty solid, we've been racking up mindfulness and wisdom for the last couple weeks here. And now I really feel like it's kind of like coming to this culmination here, you know, and you're getting ready to, you're coming into your strength, Aquarius. I really do feel that. And it's one of those things, I know if you're in it, you're like, Justin, this is crazy. Like you don't understand. You know, how am I going to get it? Well, you know what? Help me understand. You know, like you gave me this here. If there's more, what is that? Dig into that a little bit deeper. Really explore this stuff, you know, kind of. And it might hurt at first, but healing is difficult. But once it's done, oh, happiness, abundance, victory. Look at your world. Look at this universe that you've painted. You know, that's where I feel like this is going, Aquarius. So just be patient, be strong, be flexible, be adaptable, and oh, where are you? Where did all the queens go? I lost them. Look at that. You know, and be willing to work with that energy. Yeah, because this is all these girls. Like, oh, the queens want you. It's a party here. They want you to get better. They absolutely want you to get better. So channel that queen energy, that flexibility, that water energy, and be that adaptable. And I feel like it's gonna be some good stuff on the horizon, Aquarius. You know, just keep that strength. So, all right, I won't beat that to death. Hopefully that resonated with you. I want to resonate with you all, but hopefully that at least resonated with some. Please do all the YouTube things. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, and just for a bigger, better picture of what's going on with you, check your moon, check your rising. And this week we're checking our Saturn. Not that Saturn's doing anything weird or anything, but I feel like any, because when we're tackling things in life, because I know I've said this, where it's like sometimes I feel like I just don't have enough tools to deal with stuff. Ain't that right, D? Can't. But it's like I feel like sometimes I don't have enough tools to deal with this stuff. But that's where getting to learn more about your signs and all of this stuff here. What up, baby? Is a good opportunity to just help add more tools to your tool belt. Cats, what you gonna do with them? You know what? I probably know why he's here, because D wants to hear about Celestial News Weekly. Ain't that right? Yeah, I get it. I do too. You can't hear him, but I'm sure he'd meow. He's really happy right now. So, so happy he's about to knock my stuff over. Nature my problem. Let's move on to the news, because that was an awkward transition. I felt that. We'll talk about it. Yeah, I felt that, but we're moving on, because guess what? Venus is entering Sagittarius on the 16th, and this is a good time too for looking for love, because you remember that's six of wands. I may not do love readings necessarily specifically, but if you're trying to manifest love, you know what? You totally can. And the energy is getting lighter for that. We're slowly starting to get out of Scorpio season here and transition into Sagittarius. So now things are feeling, we were really getting deep and doing some real kind of soul searching, but now things are getting a little bit lighter, and there's going to be this impetus to kind of pursue the truth and like a higher meaning in what we love. So I really feel like this is a time to, if we're not sure, what is it that we love, this is a good energy for it, and to like really get a good idea of what that looks like for you, if that makes sense. Next, also on the 16th, is the last quarter moon, and this is a good time for harvesting. This is, the Queen of Discs loves when the last quarter moon's coming out, because this is like, now we get to see the rewards that we've done from sowing seeds from like the last new moon. So, kind of going through, seeing what's working, trimming what's not, and then just, oh, these queens. See, this is what I'm talking about, where I need like 6 arms, because now we're being adaptable. We're working with the energies. Ladies, calm down. That's what that's about. Just getting your affairs in order and getting ready to start up, because once after this, we get to that new moon phase, getting a game plan in mind for the next new moon, so that we can tackle this going into this Sagittarius season. And speaking of planetary, well, never mind. Mercury's going to be entering Sagittarius. Why are these transitions so awkward, Aquarius? Something's going on here. On the 17th, that's when all that's happening. Mercury's entering Sagittarius. And this is a time to like philosophize, for passionate debates, for, just keeping an open mind. This is a good time to, maybe could be a good thing too. If you're, whatever this, if this is a project that we're starting on or something, maybe kind of pitch some ideas, get some fresh viewpoints coming in, bounce some stuff off some people, because there might be someone might say something where you're like, oh my gosh, and that's the spark that you need. And then you're just like off to the races, because again, you got the energy for it. And this could be too, if you want to kind of like pursue maybe higher levels of education, and whatever that looks like for you, whether you want to go back to school, or if you just want to just start learning, go to a library, watch YouTube stuff. There's so much knowledge out there. It's ridiculous. Learn your butt off. And yeah, that's it. Just learn your butt off. Okay, 3 aspects, and I'm gonna get you out of here. The sun is going to be trine with Neptune, and this is a time that's going to kind of shine a light on our imagination here. And you're going to feel like a sense of like psychic attunement to like those around you, and it's going to feel like it's going to be very peaceful kind of time. So again, kind of taking this energy and if maybe just like reaching out for some help, maybe going out as long, because I feel like the energy is very receptive for that. I feel like we're in a good place. just in a good place. I feel like the Sun and Venus are really bringing on some nice energies here. So yeah, definitely work with that. And some stones that you might want to consider: good old sunstone, or you could work with celestite. That's another good one too. And these are I should probably start mentioning this with the others too. But these are just kind of like crystals that coordinate with the celestial bodies because it's like sun, sunstone. Yeah, of course they go together. Next, Mercury is going to be conjunct with Venus. And that's really cool because this is going to be this is going to change up how you kind of approach life a little bit. You might your speech might become a little more debonair, a little more little suave, more smooth. And it's going to be because that's what Venus does. Venus kind of brings a little sensuality into the mix, and Mercury is about communication. So you might be talking about there might be more emphasis on like art and finances and romance and all those types of stuff. And it could be another good time too, considering people are in a more sort of receptive mood. Good time for like negotiation or collaboration. Just kind of work with this energy, because that could be too. Maybe just like how I was saying, it feels like you might be working by yourself, or you feel like you've had to take all this on by yourself. It might be just time to just reach out, just to get a little assistance, any little thing to help. Lastly, Mars is going to be squared with Jupiter, and this is very, you don't have him here, surprisingly. You got all the other court cards, but this is very Knight of Wands energy. And then the sense is like, he's the fiery part of fire, so this is like that big energy. He's ready to go. My only caveat with him is go with intention, because if we're just off going and just expending energy here, that's the quickest way to get to a hanged man situation. So yeah, I feel like with this energy, just make sure to be mindful when we're going through when we're working with this energy. Oh, and I forgot to include gems on that one. I know for sure, I feel like for Jupiter, you work with yellow jasper. I want to say that's the energy, or the gem that works well with Jupiter. And then the previous one, for get yourself some quartz and get yourself an opal, and I'll get myself an opal too, and then everything's gonna be fine. All right, I feel like you've just been awkward transition after awkward transition, Aquarius. So I appreciate you sticking with me through all that. Word salad. Serving it up hot and fresh. Let's get your surprise card. Nice! Nice! The Fool! How exciting! And that's what the Fool's about. What I just did there, that's what the Fool's about. Finding that thing that gets you out of bed every morning, that makes you want to seize the day and just take it on. And I really feel like that's gonna help you get rid of these worry, kind of help you more, not even get rid of, but just more so kind of help you better deal with these worries. Because I feel like when you fill your place or fill your mindset with it in a place of love and compassion, and being smart in it too. I don't want it to just be like, well, if you're just all happy and positive, everything's going to be okay, which, I mean, for the most part it is. But also taking that and putting that momentum into it, and putting that energy, channeling it into something, because that is true. If you're just basking in happiness but not doing anything with it, eventually that's going to run out, or it's just going to move on because, well, you just wanted to bask in it. So good, right? But I feel like it's more so taking that positive energy and then expanding it in your world, making that happen. Really, really not forcing it, but just. Because look, you got and then we do this before, you got it was either you or Pisces. It's like you got the Fool here, and then we got the finish line here. You can see the finish line, Aquarius. It is within your grasp, but I feel like it's keeping that mindset every day of getting out of bed and going with that whatever's coming at you, bring it on. What do you want? Because you know what? You're not in this alone. You have a whole soul tribe behind you here. So keep that in mind. We're rooting you on, Aquarius. Just like I'm hoping that you're rooting me on and all of us on. Not even just me, all of us. We're in this together, Aquarius. So, yeah. I'm going to leave that there. That's a good ending. I feel like that's a good ending to leave on. So, stay safe out there, Aquarius. Keep raising that vibration. And I will catch you on the next one later.